So antiquated HVAC systems, we know Coventry superintendent told us that there's just no way he can get all the schools ready for that. We know an environmentalist came in and said, you know, you need to meet CDC standards. Wouldn't this be the end-all be-all if they can't meet that one metric?
Yeah, I don't think so. So certainly HVAC systems are important, and certainly there needs to be adequate air flow, but the most important thing actually is wearing masks. So if you talk to experts about the air quality and about the things you can do to cut down on transmission of the disease, it's mask wearing. So I'm glad that they're working hard. I hope they get creative. It's an opportunity to teach school outside if you can't get the classroom in shape. How about in a field? How about in the parking lot? How about in someplace outside? We know outside is the absolute safest place to be. But if you're going to be inside, then very important to wear a mask. That is the end-all be-all, to answer your question. You know, the gold standards are mask wearing, as much time outside as possible, and no one coming to school sick. We know that people who have symptoms, sneezing, coughing, headache, fever, have to stay home. So HVAC's important. I know it's a pain. I know they're hard at work on it. But there are a lot of other things, too, that are much less expensive and even more effective.
So I know Warwick was saying, okay, what are other options? We get 1,000 box fans, and they say, well, we can't do that because we don't have the money. So when are the checks going to be signed? We know there is federal money sitting there, but a lot of these districts are saying, you know, tens of millions in the hole.
Yes, yes. So we have, I have committed a minimum of $50 million extra, and we'll do more if we need to. As soon as the districts get us their the bills, we will reimburse them. So that's how that's going to work. And if 50 million isn't enough, then you know we'll do our best to find more. So if they have to buy the box fans, buy the box fans, and submit for reimbursement, and we'll go ahead and reimburse them.
So what are the options? You know, tax hikes, borrowing?
Well, this money is from the federal government. So, by the way, I should say the federal government needs to do more. You know, our federal delegation, Senators Reid and Whitehouse and Congressman Langevin and Cicilline, they're pushing, fighting, arguing for more money. And I'm reasonably optimistic that Congress will do the right thing because even President Trump has said he supports additional federal funding to help open schools. So it's clear it's going to, you know, require additional funds. And I think it's the right place for the federal government to step up because this is a nationwide issue. Having a lost year of school for our entire country, that is devastating. And if Congress stepping up to appropriate some more money to provide the box fans is what it takes to educate our children, then they should do that.
So what will you tell superintendents' districts that say, you know, a lot of our classrooms don't even have windows, basically that?
There may be rooms that they can't use. In those rooms, maybe they're of limited use, fewer students, everybody wearing masks, limited amount of time in that room. Again, I'm really pushing districts to be creative about going outside. There are, you know, you can teach kids outside. Not everyone can do that. Certainly in the urban areas, they don't have fields, but you know, you mentioned Coventry. They have plenty of sports fields and different places to be outside, put up a tent. Kids can eat lunch outside. Kids can be taught outside. We just have to get creative. I'm not saying it's easy. Believe me, I have huge sympathy for them. Everything that they're saying is true. These are obstacles, but we have to have this can-do attitude. Yes, I know it's going to be hard. There are obstacles. Get creative, solve the problems, get it done for our children who deserve an education.
So they should not be thinking that the HVAC systems should be a determining factor?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is a factor. There's no one factor. It's a factor, as is mask wearing, as is hand sanitizing, as is opening the windows or going outside or limiting the number of students in the class. You know, I understand that districts are frustrated because this is really hard, except it is what it is. It's a crisis. It's a global crisis. And when you look back to the flu, you see pictures actually in 1918, kids outside in their winter coats learning their schoolwork. We have to get creative and do what we need to do to get through the crisis, teach the kids, and keep everyone safe.
So I know you're saying PPE is the big thing. Last check, I know some districts say, they were on back order for some items. What is the state doing right now? Will that be provided?
Yes. I'm sorry, we will help them, absolutely. So in the first instance, we're asking them to purchase the masks and plexiglass, whatever they need, and some of that will be reimbursed. But if they are having trouble buying it, we're going to let them have access to the state's stockpile. We're already doing that, and we will continue to do that. We have plenty of masks, plenty of N95s, plenty of face shields. And I will say in this way, the districts are working great with us. They're in close contact with us, and where they're getting into trouble and they can't buy what they need, we're going to make sure they have it.
And one legal question, some folks were sending me articles about around the country, districts saying, sign these waivers to go to school. Would that ever be something Rhode Island would do, liability waivers?
It is possible. I am hopeful, again, that Congress is going to pass some immunity, if you will, for school districts. And so I'm going to wait and see what happens with that.